So before we actually get into the video, I just want to show you this little clip my friend and I recorded. We were playing a full match. I beat him 2-1, by the way, just to rub it in his face, because I'm that kind of person. So I was playing Samurai, he was playing Prophecy. He opened up pretty poorly. Anyways, the end. Um, you should just listen to the audio at the end. It's pretty funny. And I hope you guys enjoy this. And um, it's pretty funny. I'll let you listen to the actual audio at the end. And so I think I'll be dropping out right about now as you see this being dropped. And I hope you guys enjoy the actual video. I'll be seeing you guys again shortly. See ya.
GG.
Hello guys, this is DragonComa coming to you today with a live duel kind of commentary. I hope you guys enjoy because I'm not really that good at this kind of stuff. Anyways, I am playing my Satellarknight Fire Fists, and he's playing my weird Chaos deck. In the title, it's called Shaddoll Chaos versus Fire Fist Satellarknights, mainly because Shaddoll is one of the main engines of this deck. And I hope I don't bore you, and I hope I don't have too many awkward silences. That's the main reason why I even decided to do a deck commentary, because I thought it was going to be too boring to just watch a 13-minute long duel, almost. So I start off with the reinforcements of the army. I don't know why I always start off with reinforcements. I feel like I'm like stacking or something like that. And so obviously the best choice to do is go into Deneb so I can search an Altair. And so I'm gonna post the not the raw footage, but the footage with the actual audio in later. But because the audio is actually pretty funny if you listen to it. Anyways, so I set 3 back row and I passed my turn. My back row is Trap Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare, Time, Space, and MST. The only reason why I set MST is because I know my own Chaos deck has a lot of ways to pop back row, and I put the third one face down so he would have less of a chance of popping my good stuff. Anyways, there's one of the outs to back row, and that is Lila. So he's thinking about what to do, and making the wise decision, he decides to attack my Deneb. So I take 200 damage. And then he goes into main phase 2 to pop my back row. And he hits my middle one. Unfortunately, that is my time space trap hole, one of my most important trap holes in the whole entire deck. Anyways, at the end of the turn, he mills 2 Shaddoll Dragons and a Plague Spreader Zombie. Yep, there it goes. I'm sorry, but the life point bar is kind of blocking that. So he hits with the dragon my Trap Trick Triple Nightmare, which I'm kind of mad because, like, of all the things he didn't hit, it was my MST he didn't hit. Luckily for me, though, dragon's only like once per turn, so he can't pop all my stuff. So now I go into the Altair, the Neb play, because that's the most optimum play I have anyways. And I search out again for another Altair. That's how Satellarknights play, and this is my proof for why you only ever need one Deneb, because any other Deneb you draw into is dead. I tested this deck with 3 or 2 Deneb, and it was terrible. Because the fact that as soon as I opened one Deneb, like, it was okay. Anyways, I attack with my Altair, and I go into May Phase 2 to go into, I believe at the end I choose to go into Rhapsody and Berserk, mainly because of the fact that he had some stuff in his graveyard, and I know in my own Chaos deck I banish a lot of things like special, something like BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, Light Pulsar Dragon, the Baby, Light Pulsar, and Dark Flare Dragons, Collapse Serpent, and White Burster. Anyway, so I decided to remove his Shaddoll Dragon and his Plague Spreader, mainly because I know Plague Spreader can go for some crazy combo plays, and also because Dragon, if he mills something like a Falco, then and if he has to banish anything, that the only dark in his graveyard is going to be a Dragon, so he's forced to banish that. And if he ever mills Falco, he has to summon something else. Anyways, he summons Card Trooper and mills amazingly, which he mills a Squamata, a Monarch Stormforth, and a Tour Guide. It may not seem that great in the long run, like in the short run right now, but in the long run, it helps him win his game. I'm just going to give that, I'm going to put that out there right now. He beats me in the end. Anyway, so he sends Falco to the graveyard and revives Falco. And so he establishes some nice board presence. I need to remind people who are watching this. This is the first time he's playing my chaos deck, so he doesn't know what he's like really doing like first few turns. So he discards his wolf. If I hope you guys like what he said earlier about Mike his opening hands. Like I have one questionable card that you run in here. It was the wolf. Anyways, he uses the monster and create reincarnation to bring back tour guide, which he will use later. And now he banishes one light, one dark to bring out the BLS, which I thought was crazy opening BLS. So he attacks again, and attacks with Card Trooper, leaving me from 7,800 to 2,900, which is a massive, massive blow to my life points. And at this point, I'm really, really behind in the game. So I draw. I remember I opened bear, so I should have gone into 101 here, but I think I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if I should have gone into 101 because I really want to get rid of the Card Trooper and the BLS, and if I had used Altair, I would have not been able to attack and get rid of the Card Trooper, because if I leave Card Trooper on the field, then he gets a mill more, and the mill's more powerful than the draw. So I attack his Card Trooper, dealing 1,200 life points. So then I use Bear's effect. He's having some calculated trouble. That's why there's a short pause right now. Anyway, so he draws his card, and I get a search for a fire formation off of Bear's effect. So basically what Bear does is if he inflicts battle damage, he gets to search a fire formation. That's why I decided to go with the Bear, because not only do I get deck thinning going on, but I also get a search. So next, main phase 2, I go into my Tanky to search out what I believe to be a Wolf Bark, because I know Bear's probably going to be destroyed, and even if I search out another Bear, it's not going to help me much, because I know my Chaos deck to be really explosive, and one Bear is not going to help. Sure, it's going to help get rid of some monsters, but in the long run, it's not going to help me do anything. So next, I just pass turn, like again with a dead MST. So he's thinking what to do. Oh, excuse me. So he chooses to go with a tour guide play, and I know he goes into Skarm. This is one reason why I really want to play Curry Band in my deck. But first of all, my deck space is really low. And second of all, Curry Bandit's $10 a pop, and I'm not willing to pay that kind of money. Unless it's a deck I really want to play, and this is like a deck I just made for fun. So anyways, he goes into this. He goes for a rank 3 play. If I had a Dante, I'd definitely have a Dante. But the same reason with like Curry Bandit, I know that Curry Bandit's only like $8. But even then, like I don't have a lot of funds to be fancy. I don't have a job. I want to have a job. But since I'm only a high school student, all the college guys get the job, so I don't really have much of a choice. So he goes to Leviathan, and then decides to, I believe he goes to an attack. I'm looking at his hand a bit, being fancy and whatnot. He decides not to flip the Falco, which I find kind of surprising. So he attacks my Bear, and I take another 900 damage. So at this point, I'm really, really far behind. He has a lot of board presence. I don't have board presence. But this is the problem with my Satellarknight deck. It's kind of slow, and this is why it's not the greatest deck, but it does have a lot of potential in my opinion. Just the ability to remove things and deck thin like crazy is really nice. So he's looking through my deck, like to see what's going on in it, and also searching out the tour guide with the Skarm. He forgot to do it at the end phase, so I let him do it. We're not really that big on competitive dueling. We're more like for fun people. We don't care if we make mistakes. Unless we go to something like locals, and we take that kind of seriously. So here is the thing. I go into my Tiger King. And my idea on... I remember reading this ruling somewhere. I may be mistaken. But I remember a ruling... when Leviathan Dragon was released, it was like, if its effect is negated, even after its activation, like after its activation, if you negate its effect, it loses the attack gain. So I thought going to Tiger King would be a really good choice. However, I'm not sure if that's the correct ruling on it. The ruling may have changed. I don't really check on rulings that often, mainly because I'm guilty of doing the Dev Pro thing as well. So I use Tiger King's effect to search me out in our Tanky, and use the Tanky to search out on our Bear. I only played 2 bear in this build. In my previous build, I play like 3 bear, but someone just decided to go with 2 bear. I don't know why. I think it was just testing more back row, but unfortunately, I was testing against the wrong deck, which wasn't like back row heavy or spell trap heavy. Anyways, I detach and negate the effect. As I said, I'm not sure if this is the correct ruling, but correct me if I am. Leave in the comments section below. I don't think even if I went to 101 or if I went into Castello, it would have made a difference at all. Like, at all. So, anyways, he goes into. So I passed my turn. So now it's his turn. And then he decides to flip Falco to bring back the Squamata. And I know you can't hear him. I don't think you can hear it. However, he is asking me if he has normal summoned yet. So he brings out Squamata and flips it face down, as Falco's effect says. And this was like, I was thinking, oh, okay, that's pretty standard, and he's gonna make a big synchro and beat me over, right? Something like Stardust, because we do play like Pulsar in this deck, and it's pretty strong. However, he decides to do something. By the way, that face down pile you see is the graveyard. He just did that by accident. He doesn't know he's doing it at the time. So he tributes both and summons Arcor Christia. And this was kind of a misplay on his part because I do have a Firefist Bear at the ready. However, he does. It's kind of a good move at the same time because he also knows I have my Altair in my hand, and he forces me to use the Bear. Yes, he has to draw into his Christie again. However, at the same time, it's a really bad blow to me because now I'm forced to bring out the Bear to pop this thing, and I'm kind of slowed down again.
That was actually stupid.
So I pop his Christia, which goes back to the top of the deck. By the way, as I said, that face down thing was his graveyard. So then I deal another 1600 points of damage to him, and I search out yet another Fire Formation Tanky. My fire formations in this deck are 3 Tanky, 2 Gyoku, and 1 Tensu, but as I said, Gyoku is more on back row heavy decks like Shaddolls and I don't know. I don't know exactly. Burning Abyss, not Gleeforts, I guess. But anyways, so I used the Tanky to search out my last Fire Fist, which is a Gorilla. I wished I was playing 3-bear and no Gorilla against this deck, but you know, you come in to the duel with your build, and you had to come and go with it. So now he goes into his second tour guide, and from there he wins the game. I'm going to give you a short overview. He goes into tour guide, and then makes Levier, as you'll see in a moment. And then he revised the Wolf, which he banished with BLS earlier. Takes him some time, though. Anyways, I think this will be the end of the duel. You'll see me be beaten in a short while. And I hope you guys enjoyed this duel commentary. And I'll see you guys later. And this is DragonComa signing out. Till next time. See ya.
Yes, your derp deck is really fun.